Hello, my name is Vanessa. Welcome to our virtual yoga class. We will begin class in a seated position. Go ahead and get settled in a cross-legged position, noticing which leg is most forward. And then switch it out so it's the opposite side. Notice if there's a difference there in your hips. Hands can rest softly on your knees. You can also turn your hands up towards the ceiling. So something I like to emphasize in my yoga classes is the subtlety. Those little nuances and the subtle ways we move our bodies creates a different inner experience. You might notice a different experience with hands on the knees or with hands facing up towards the ceiling. Check in with your core. Notice your core supports you in lengthening your spine. Do so. Spine is long. And now draw your shoulders down. Chin is neutral, and then you can choose to either keep your eyes open or closed. Now, as we sit and we breathe, we are meditating, but don't worry about doing meditation. It really is just a process of checking in, noticing what's there. It's not about performing something correctly or incorrectly, even if your mind wanders. Let's together take a powerful inhale for a powerful exhale. Notice a second cycle of breath, inhaling. Exhaling, sighing out. And the third cycle of breath, inhale. Exhale. Sigh it out. Noticing the quality of your breath and noticing that as we place our attention on our breath, we're building a bridge of our physical, mental, emotional body as a holistic yoga practice. We're seeking balance, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. They all inform each other in very explicit ways and also in very ambiguous ways. You're noticing your sit bones. Those are the bones near your glutes, grounded on the floor. Your spine is long, shoulders are drawn down. You can imagine a line of energy from the base of the spine all the way to the top of the head. Simultaneously, you're regulating your breath. If at any moment you have trouble concentrating, just increase the length of your inhale and exhale a little bit. That's all that's needed. Take another intentional breath here, inhaling. Exhaling, perhaps sighing out. And now start to shift your chin over your right shoulder. So you're purposely opening throughout the side of the neck. And then opposite side. Twist towards the left. Chin moves towards your shoulder. And then back to center. Drop your chin towards your chest. Noticing a stretch in the neck, also in the upper back. Lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Head comes back to neutral. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears, draw them down. Lift up shoulders and very purposely drawing my shoulder blades together. Elbows are loosely relaxed, pointed towards your torso. Don't forget your breath. Regulate your inhale. And then regulate your exhale. One more time. Shoulders up towards your ears. Draw them down. Now lift your hands. Take your hands right behind your head. Elbows, press them towards the back. And now twist towards the left and towards the right. You can hold one side. Remember to ground your sit bones, your lower body onto the floor. And you're leading through your chest, your heart. You're supporting your lower back, mid back, upper back here. Do this twist. And then a release. We focus a little bit on our neck or shoulders or upper body. Let's focus on our hamstrings by taking our left foot out and then pressing our right foot right against our thigh. I want to focus on one leg. You can invite a little bend to your knee. Check in with shoulders or up towards your ears. You draw them down and then lean down with your chest, your heart, and fold. Hands can reach anywhere, thighs, shins, or toes. Fold, and you're breathing anywhere from the calf, behind the knee, hamstring, glutes, and hips. Noticing your boundary and seeing where can you fold just a little bit more, where your edge is. Breathe into that edge to a point that's not painful. Inhale here and exhale. And then release. Take your right foot onto the mat. Take your left arm out. We're going to twist towards the right. You're lengthening your spine here. You can flex your left foot towards the front. So you're active here with that flexed foot. You're purposely lengthening the spine and very purposely bringing your chin towards that right shoulder. And now release. Opposite side, lengthen your right leg, and then press your left foot right against your thigh. Lengthen your spine, draw your shoulders down, lead through your chest, your heart. You can have a little bend to your knee as you fold. Inhale. Exhale. Drop your belly towards your thigh. Inhale. Exhale. You might have bend to your knee. Inhale. And exhale, start to release. Bend your left knee, left foot onto the floor. Take your right arm out. Very specifically lengthening the spine, flexing your right foot. Chin move towards your shoulder. Do not collapse your spine. Spine is long. Inhale here. Exhale. And then release the pose. Now both soles of the feet touch. We'll remain here a few cycles of breath here, anywhere between 5 to 10 breaths, folding. Elbows can rest right on the creases of your knee here, or they can also float up a little bit. Shoulders are drawn down. Notice where your boundary is and fold a little bit more. Deep belly breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Take both knees right beneath your hips, hands beneath your shoulders, just a few times of a cat and cow pose. Lift your tailbone, round your spine. With your breath, two more times. After that round, take your hands forward just a little bit, curl your toes, lift up, downward facing dog, and hold. Breathe into your heels, hamstrings. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Separate your shoulder blades. Distribute weight on your palms, your fingertips. Hold your downward facing dog. We're holding this longer than we're accustomed to. Breathing from your heels all the way down up to your fingertips. Plank pose, hold your plank pose. Watch your elbows close to your sides as you release down towards the floor. We're going to remain in an upward facing dog. Your hands are framing around your chest, palms on the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. I'm very purposely drawing my shoulders down here. You can engage your glutes for extra support. Be careful with your lower back. Activate your core. And now curl your toes, downward facing dog. Inhaling here and then exhaling side out. Inhale, exhale, side out. Another intentional breath. Exhale, side out. From your downward facing dog, we'll move a little quicker. Plank pose. From plank pose down towards the floor. And then on an inhale, lift up into your upward facing dog. And now down dog. Take a deep belly breath, inhaling here, exhaling, sighing out. And then plank pose, release down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a generous breath, inhale here, exhale. And then from downward facing dog, we'll shift up into a forward fold. Remain here in your forward fold. Cup your elbows with your hands. Distribute your weight around your hamstrings, or distribute your weight on your heels as you're focusing on opening up around the hamstring. Sway towards the left and then towards the right. Release your hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Take that energy down to your heart center. We're going to take a breath for the day we've had. A breath for this moment. And a breath for the rest of our day. 3 round sun salutations. Release your hands. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold down, forward fold. Hand positions. Inhale, halfway up, shoulders slide back. Exhale, release, step back into your plank pose. Activate your core, release down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. Curl your toes, down dog. Take a breath. Take your gaze right between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Hand positions. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Sweep our arms up overhead. Noticing our left hand press against right hand press against left hand. Gather your breath here. Second round, arms lift. Extend the spine. Exhale, bend your knees. Place weight around the edges of your feet. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, step back, plank pose. Release down towards the floor, and then inhale up. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Press through your palms. Take your gaze between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, sweep your arms up overhead. Notice that heat you're creating in the body. You can inhale here, exhale, side out. Release your hands. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, step back into your plank pose. Release down towards the floor. Downward facing dog. Once in that down dog, we'll lift our right leg, bend our knee, stack our hips. Right knee towards that right elbow. Lift your leg, bend your knee, stack your hips. Another core workout. Knee towards your left elbow, hover. And then lift your leg, bend your knee, stack your hips. Release your foot down towards the floor. Invite a generous breath. Now lift your left leg, bend your left knee, stack your hips. Left knee towards our left elbow. Lift your leg, bend your knee, stack your hips. Invite a deep, generous breath, deep belly breath. Knee towards our right elbow. Lift your leg, bend your knee, stack your hips. And then release your foot back down towards the floor. And then step back into your child's pose. Hands stretch out. Knees can be either towards the edges of your mat or close together. Take a few breath cycles here. Notice the quality of your breath. Take the breath that most supports you. One more intentional breath. Lift up into your tabletop. Hands beneath your shoulders. We're going to press our left palm firmly onto the floor. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling and hold. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Right hand on the floor. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Let's inhale up. Cow pose. Lift your tailbone. Exhale. Round your spine. Cat pose. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale up. Cow pose. Lift your tailbone. Exhale. Round your spine. Lift back up. Downward facing dog. Take your gaze right between your hands. Walk or jump up to your forward fold. We're going to inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Your choice how you come up to standing. You can roll up slowly. Our head comes up last. Here we notice that physical sensation of letting go. Palms stretched out towards the front. Keep your gaze steady in front of you. Inhale and exhale. A steady gaze is an indicator of a steady mind. Two-legged balance, we lift our arms up overhead, palms up towards the ceiling, lift your heels halfway or all the way up. Gaze is steady. Release your hands, release your feet. We're going to shift into a warrior one. From warrior one, we'll eventually move into a warrior three. Keep that in mind. So we'll take our left foot forward, our right leg steps back, right foot in a diagonal. Hips squared towards the front. Hands can be either in front of your heart, your chest. You can also lift your arms up overhead. Take 3 breaths here. Keep a bend to that left knee. Start to take your hands right in front of your heart center. We're going to move into a warrior three from here. Lifting our right leg, simultaneously dipping our chest down towards the floor. Keep your gaze steady here. Feel free to step in or out of the pose. And now drop your hands down towards the floor, fingertips right beneath your shoulders. Lift that right leg as high as you can. Right foot meets the left foot, 3 rounds. We're going to inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Third time, inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Your choice how you roll up to standing or how you lift up to standing. Keep your gaze steady. Hands frame your hips. Notice the quality of your breath. Second cycle of breath. And third cycle of breath. Sweep our arms up overhead. Two-legged balance. Palms up towards the ceiling. Lift your heels halfway or all the way up and hold. Gaze is steady. Release your heels, release your hands. You can pedal your feet back and forth as we prepare for our warrior one, which will eventually shift into a warrior three. So previously we did left foot forward. This time we'll take our right leg forward, left leg steps back. Our left foot is in a diagonal, 90-degree bend to our knee. We're imagining our legs are these scissors attempting to close, but they can't. Our hips remain squared towards the front. Then lift your arms up. 3 breaths, imagining a breath from your heels all the way up to your fingertips. Glutes and quads are engaged. Hands in front of your heart center. Start to place most of your weight on that right foot as you simultaneously lift your left leg, ground your right foot onto the floor. Make any adjustments as needed. And then drop both hands onto the floor. Fingertips beneath your shoulders. Lift your left leg as high as you can. Left foot meets that right foot. 3 rounds. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Neck is soft. Your choice, how you lift up to standing. Make it intentional. You're noticing your heels. You're noticing your hands lift up. Hands meet in front of your heart center. Hands frame your hips. Eyes closed or open. We'll inhale here. Exhale, side out. Pedal your feet back and forth. We'll prepare for some more balance or tree pose. Our left foot rests against our ankle. You can remain here, activating your core, noticing balance is already going on here. Or you can take your foot higher to your shin, or use your hands to bring your foot higher towards your thigh. Hips open up. Different expressions here with your hands. Your hands can frame your hips. You can lift your arms up overhead. So many different expressions. I recommend keeping your gaze steady. Draw your shoulders down. We're always looking for that effort and ease in each pose. Inhale here. Exhale. Release your hands. Let's pedal our feet and contrast that pose with the chair pose. Arms lift up, bend your knees. Glutes and quads are active. Distribute weight on your heels. Fold all the way down forward. Fold, relax your neck. 3 rounds. Inhale halfway up. Make sure your neck is soft. After that 3rd round, your choice how you come up to standing. Keep your gaze steady as you lift into a mountain pose. A steady gaze is a steady mind. You can pedal your feet back and forth. Prepare for your tree pose. Right foot rests against your ankle. Noticing the balance is already active in this pose. When you're ready, you can lift your foot higher to your shin or even higher up toward your thigh. Find that expression of tree pose. Draw your shoulders down, core is active, glutes and quads. Hips are open. Notice how your breath changes in this pose. Deep belly breath here. Notice that effort and ease in this pose. And then release. Pedal your feet back and forth. We'll contrast this pose with a chair pose. Lift your arms up, bend your knees and hold. Glutes and quads are active. Inhale here. Hands to your heart center, release, fold down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, step back into your plank pose. Release down towards the floor. And then from here, interlace your fingers, point your toes, inhale up. Exhale, release. Your feet foot off the floor, inhale up. Exhale, release. A few more times with your breath. You're purposely drawing your shoulder blades closer together. Stretching throughout the abdomen, throughout the lower back, mid back, upper back. Using your breath to help find that lift. On your next round, remain there for 3 breath cycles. Mentally prepare yourself to hold. Inhale and exhale. Move through your 3 breath cycles. Once you've taken about 3, you can always do less or more. Drop one of your cheeks on the floor. Collapse your body. Drop your shoulders, soften neck down the spine to your hips. It's a very intentional practice of letting go and softening the body. Sometimes we need more practice in that than in being active in our bodies. Welcoming whatever breath supports you right now. It's hard to take deep belly breaths when your belly is on the floor, so just take the comfortable breath that is available for you. Three more breaths. And then after those 3 breath cycles, we'll start to release. Shift up into an upward facing dog, hands framing your chest, tops of the feet on the floor. Extend throughout the spine, upward facing dog. And then shift into a downward facing dog. In that down dog, last core workout, we lift our right leg, bend our knees, stack our hips. You're grounding through your palms firmly as you take your right foot towards your right elbow and hover. Lift your core up towards the ceiling. Lift your leg as you're pressing through your palms, bend your knees, stack your hips, and then prepare yourself. Right knee now towards that left elbow. Generous breath and lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. A lot of full body strength here. Release your foot down towards the floor and write a generous breath, deep belly breath, ribcage expands. And then lift your left leg, bend your left knee, stack your hips. So you can create your own rhythm here. Left knee towards your left elbow, press through your palms. As you lift your leg back up, bend your knees, stack your hips. And now left knee towards that right elbow, hover. And then lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Release your foot down towards the floor and then shift down into a child's pose. Soften your torso, your hips. Inhale, receive anything that supports you. Exhale, release anything that doesn't. And then start to release your child's pose. Ground both hands beneath your shoulders, knees, hips width distance apart. A couple of cat and cow poses here. Protect your spine. And then after another round here or two, we'll start to shift out of the position. You'll come to sit, and then you'll position your legs so you start to make a V with your legs. And by a little bend to your knees here. You're going to shift your chest to your heart towards the right. So you're leading with your chest, your heart. Your legs remain on the ground in one position, facing forward. And now with your chest, your heart, fold down. Hold. And then release. Same thing here, you're gonna twist towards the left with your chest, your heart, and then hold. Release. And then leading down with your chest, your heart, hold. Hold down the center. You can inch your hands forward. You can have a little bend to your knees. Rock your belly towards the floor. Spine remains long. Release. We'll bring both legs together. We're gonna work on our core as we lay down towards the floor. Palms up towards the ceiling, chin towards your chest. Gonna hover here. Your feet can float off the floor. And now drop your head all the way back. Together, powerful inhale, 4 powerful exhale, sighing out. We'll bend our right knee. Grab your knee with your hands, round your spine, forehead towards your knee. Flex that left foot forward, and then drop your head back. Opposite side, bend your left knee, flex that right foot forward, hold. Drop your leg back. Bend both knees, both soles of the feet on the floor. Rest your right ankle or shin on your thigh, and now weave your right hand between your legs. Interlace your fingers behind that left thigh. Inhale. Exhale. Notice where the boundary is. And then release. Opposite side, left ankle on top. Left ankle or shin on top of your right thigh. Leave your left hand between your legs. Hold. Breathe into your boundary. And then release. Butterfly pose. Both soles of the feet touch. Hands can find your hips. You can bring your arms up overhead. Backs of the hands on the floor. You can also rest your hands on your belly or your chest. Soften neck, down the spine to your hips. Imagining your knees fall further towards the floor. Feet loosely touch each other. Invite a few deep belly breaths here. Notice where can you soften just a little bit more. 3 more breaths in this butterfly pose. You don't necessarily have to count the breath, it's more of an estimate. And then from your butterfly pose, shift into your last resting pose, your Shavasana. If there's one last pose though you need to feel more complete for the class, go ahead and shift into that last pose. So whether you're settling into your Shavasana or exploring one more pose, inhale here, exhale. Notice your breath, notice how your breath supports you in pose. That's any pose in yoga. How does the breath, enriching the physical, mental, emotional body, support each pose?